Back with the Wandering Mariner. So today we're getting to a question from the official friend zone who says, I am looking to get some disability pay from the Veterans Administration. Is there a certain disability rating that MSC or the Maritime Career won't be able to hire me? And the disability rating itself has nothing to do with your ability to get hired by MSC. So when you apply to Military Sea Lift Command or even into the Merchant Marine field, you have to file like two different types of medical exams. One is the Coast Guard exam. So when you first get hired, you go through and you do the Coast Guard form 719 kilo. And in that form, you're going to do your medical history. You're going to fill out the form. You're going to do the examination. They're going to do a vision hearing test and a blood test and drug and alcohol. So it's a very basic medical exam, and you send it in. Once you get the results, you send it to the Coast Guard, and that's how you get your Merchant Marine credentials. Now, that's the first step of sailing. And if you are thinking about going to Military Sea Lift Command, it's all dependent on the job field you're going into. And I want to say about a month ago, I did an entry-level video where somebody kind of clapped back at me, and they're like, what are you talking about, a pre-employment physical? They don't do that anymore. You just send in this, and then you're hired, and you go to NEO. And I go, that is for an entry-level position. So if you're going in as a wiper, SU, or an ordinary seaman as an entry-level position, you're just going to do that Coast Guard exam, and then you're going to send that, and that's going to be good enough for employment. But if you're going into a watch standing position where you're going to be standing watches on the bridge, or if you're in the engine room, or certain more in-depth positions, you got to do more than that basic Coast Guard exam. They're going to send you through a full-fledged employment physical with Military Sea Lift Command. And on that, it's very similar to the other one, but they're going to do more of a physical fitness, mobility check. They're going to really check your blood and everything else, triglycerides, all that good stuff. They're going to go a little bit more into the weeds on your exam. And one thing that I've realized that over the years, that medical records are kept in different branches. Like when you go for your pre-employment physical, you're going to find out that they already have a lot of your military record, your shot record and documents, because they use Cerner, which is the military's and Veterans Administration uses those branches. So they will have access to a lot of those things that you've already said. So if you're just going for an entry-level position, just your Coast Guard exam, and you shouldn't really worry about it. For the more in-depth employment, that's, and you don't have to unveil what the Coast Guard or what the Veterans Administration says your disability rating is. That really has nothing to do with it. When you're getting employed, it's your current health situation and your health history. But you don't have to go in depth and say, whatever your issues that were in the past so much, if they're no longer affecting you today. They want to know your brief medical history, but they want to know like what you're capable of doing now. And if you're capable of doing the job now, it shouldn't affect you whatsoever. So the pre-employment physical, you could see that it's a little bit more in depth, but otherwise, guys, don't get your heads wrapped around your VA disability, because that is a separate entity. That's the disability rating. There is no set thing. Now, if you're using CPAP machines and you're required to use one, that's something you got to tell MSC about. There's certain things that you should tell them everything, right? You should tell them everything. But I'm not going to moan about every ache and pain I ever had. I'm going to tell them about current healthcare issues that I'm having and things that are documented in my medical record in the past. But there is no guarantee. It all depends on the severity of the reasons why you're claiming disability, but there's no set percentage that marks it off. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, Official Friend Zone. I appreciate the question. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and we'll hit you on the next one. Peace.